The past 2 days have been filled with frank and robust discussions between the Khoi and the San people and the executive of the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs led by Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Various stems of Khoi and San people presented their issues of concern. Minister Hlabisa joins us now in conversation on this. Minister, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. This has been a very sensitive conversation in South Africa's democratic dispensation over the last 30 years. The recognition of the Khoi and San people and their leaderships. Talk to us about how the conversation came about. That is to say, what had been the cause to convene it and how the conversation transpired.
Good evening, as well as the viewers of SABC. Indeed, the past 3 days have been characterized by a robust engagement between the Khoi and San communities as facilitated by CoGTA. The issue of the Khoi and San recognition is a very emotional issue because the Khoi and San are one community that experienced the real genocide in South Africa and that were highly dispersed. And this has been a subject that has been on the table, this community wanting a full recognition in terms of their rights, in terms of location, and in terms of the language they speak. The discussion was frank, but robust, and also very emotional. But what is good, there was an anticipation that the engagement will collapse because of disunity amongst the 5 stems of the Khoi and San community. And against those predictions, the meeting went on for 3 days. And as we concluded today, they agreed to form a structure that is going to be a voice of the Khoi and San community to champion the recognition of the Khoi and San community. And that structure that was officially adopted today was named the National Khoi and San Interim Consultative Forum. Within 2 weeks, the 5 stems and the National Khoi and San Commission will each submit 5 names to the forum, and CoGTA will facilitate the first meeting of the consultative forum on behalf of all the Khoi and San communities to work out the terms of reference for the structure and also the program in dealing with critical issues from recognition of the Khoi and San community, their language, their culture, and all issues which has been the cry for this community for many years, even prior the dawn of our freedom, and also being tabled before the government since the 1994 freedom of our country.
Minister, what remains the challenge in securing official, statutory and constitutional recognition of the Khoi and San? I understand the purpose of the consultative forum that has been put together, and those 5 names will convene with yourself and the council. But what's standing in the way of exercising constitutional recognition?
As I said, the Khoi and San community has been displaced severely. And the first recognition attempt was the law, TICLA, the Traditional and Khoi and San Leaders Act, which unfortunately could not pass the muster of the Constitutional Court and had to be redone as we are redoing it. There is no piece of legislation that deals with Khoi and San communities to recognize them. This new law, which is a bill now being attended, named TICLA, is going to ensure the recognition of the Khoi and San community as a legal piece of legislation. And secondly, a commission on Khoi and San matters, which was appointed 4 years ago. Its term is ending on 5 May, which wanted all people who want to be recognized as Khoi and San community or as kings to make application to the commission, as there was once a Klapo commission to recognize traditional leaders amongst the nations in South Africa. Unfortunately, the Khoi and San were not accommodated. They are only now accommodated under this commission, which will give the full recognition once substantive information has been confirmed in terms of kingship, in terms of community, in terms of land, and everything.
How advanced and in what stage of the lawmaking process is the Tickler bill at the moment?
The Tickler bill is at a stage of receiving the contributions from the community and all stakeholders. The closing date is 28 February, and we encourage all the 5 stems to make their submissions so that their story can be presented by themselves as the Khoi and San community. So now, after the closing of the 28th of February, a new process will follow, the consultation in various communities, and we are looking towards the end of this year that this bill must be and eventually to the president for enactment. When it comes to the commission to recognize the community's kings and headmen, the closing date is the end of May for everybody to submit an application, which will be then reviewed by the commission, and if sufficient information is supplied and proves correct, that community or king or a queen will be recognized as a traditional leader of the Khoi and San community in South Africa.
Minister Hlabisa, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That is the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa.